And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Okay, so the Gers are into the Scottish Cup final where they will take on Celtic after they beat Heart of Midlothian 2-0 at Hampden in the semi-final. Now, I've already did a sort of live match reaction following the game, and a lot of people told me to calm the F down, and I kind of agree, but I was just trying to get a bit of optimism, a bit more positivity running through the sort of Rangers fan base after a very, very torrid week. Now, Rangers are in the pursuit for 2 more trophies. That is now fact. Whether we win a treble remains to be seen, but it is a fact that if we win our 6 games left for the rest of the campaign, there's a very good chance that we could go on and win a treble. That is a fact. I'm not saying that we will, but it is a fact that we could still go on and win a league title and the Scottish Cup. But of course, that performance was big. Well, the result was huge. The fact that we got 2 goals and kept a clean sheet was a big thing in itself. But just after the week that we've had, the inconsistency of results, that was massive going into these post-split fixtures. So I'm not going to reserve my celebrations. I'm a football fan. I'm emotional as well. And it was good to see Rangers get back to winning ways once again. I'm not deluded. I know that there's a very, very long way to go. And this Rangers team need to start putting this performances or getting results on a consistent basis for the remainder of the campaign. Now, whilst we are into the Scottish Cup final, whilst St Mirren is on the horizon next for us, I wanted to sit here and talk about Mr. Leon Balogun. I wanted to talk about his performance yesterday. I wanted to talk about where he stands now for the rest of the season, and I wanted to talk about obviously the other elephant in the room, his current contract situation as well. So of course, prior to the game, every Rangers fan was probably surprised the fact that Connor Goldson, the undroppable Connor Goldson, was dropped from the starting 11. Now, I know Philippe Clement said after the match that it was down to tiredness and fatigue. I do genuinely believe Philippe Clement's not going to throw him under the bus, but I do believe his performances were woeful as of late, and the manager did drop him for primarily his performances. So I do believe that he was dropped just due to performances, and fatigue could have been some part of the truth, but I obviously don't think he's going to put him under the bus. But either way, everyone was surprised by the fact that Connor Goldson actually got dropped and then Leon Balogun had started. Now, what that game showed me yesterday was something that I think a lot of supporters knew, is that I don't think Leon Balogun's the answer forever and ever in terms of the long-term answer, but certainly he's probably our most cool, calm and collected centre-back that we've got at this team at this moment in time. And yesterday in a semi-final, after being out for quite a while, coming back into this team in a semi-final where there's a lot of pressure on this team, he was the coolest man in the park. And it's not to say that he had nothing to contend with. There was a lot of moments where he just did his job correctly and efficiently, and again, there was no mistakes. It was not like a bomb scare. There was nothing like that with Leon Balogun, and I stated, I do think obviously at the back he was probably our best player on the park. He organised the defensive line well as well, and there's one thing for certain coming from that game: he needs to start that next match against St Mirren. There should be no if, buts and maybes about it. He should be starting the remainder of the 6 games that we have left of the campaign. Now, whether he's going to be partnered with John Souttar remains to be seen. One thing I'll say about John Souttar, just to stand up for Connor Goldson, whilst I do think Connor Goldson's performances have been pretty woeful as of late, I do think John Souttar is exactly the same. I actually do think John Souttar just has better PR than Connor Goldson. I'm not too sure what it is, maybe because he's Scottish and Connor Goldson's English, I don't know, but John Souttar is just as bad as Connor Goldson. They're equally as good and bad. They do both make high-profile mistakes, and they do make mistakes throughout the game, and John Souttar made a couple yesterday as well. So I do think John Souttar will probably be dropped for the game against St Mirren, and Connor Goldson will probably regain his place and retain his place. But one thing for certain is that we can't just have the Goldson and Souttar partnership. We need to have Balogun partnering either one or them, and then at least our defence is going to be a lot better. anyway, regardless of what happens going forward. So I do believe, as I said, he has earned his place. If he doesn't, it's an absolute disgrace. But Balogun, for me, was the best man on the park in terms of the back line, and we were really, really cool, calm and collected during the defensively, obviously apart from a couple of mistakes from individuals. But when balls were coming in Balogun's way, just playing really, really calmly, and there was no chaos in our box. There was no chaos there, and I felt like he was a very, very good centre-back, and that's what fills me with a bit of confidence going into the final few games. Now, of course, we've discussed his impact, or he's just one game or whatever. I think he's played well so far this season as well. But of course, his contract is coming down, is winding down. And this now begs the question, does he get a new contract and stay at this football club? Now, we made a mistake, I suppose, when we let him go to QPR. We let him run down his contract. We let him leave. We didn't renew his terms. He went to QPR, and then he came back and he improved his worth. Now, I don't think Leon Balogun is the be-all and end-all, by the way. I don't want everyone to get carried away and stated that a 36-year-old guy is going to be the future of this football club. I really don't think so. I think he's our best option now. I do think in the summer we need to bring in some new centre-backs, but on a cheap bit of squad depth, I would be offering him a contract extension just because, well, we'll see how he gets on for the final 6 games of the season, but I do like his experience. I do think he's a quality player, but he also loves the badge. He plays for the badge. I think Rangers has really got into his skin. It's really infected him, and he loves this football club. He really plays for that badge, and I think he feels the emotion of the supporters, which what you would really like to see from your players, and I think he really gets it. I know that's always a phrase that's always coined around in Scottish football, especially Rangers and Celtic, but he does get it. He gets what it means playing for Rangers. And for squad depth and squad depth only going into next season, whilst I'm begging him to start now in the final 6 games of the season, I do believe that going into the summer, we do need to get more quality and more long-term answers for this Rangers side. But I would offer him a new contract in terms of squad depth, genuinely, because he's a cheap option and he's a player that gets it. He's also an added quality. He's not just a token gesture. So, again, I would see Leon Balogun, of course, get a new contract, but obviously not being the long-term answer, just for squad depth purposes only, but certainly for the next 6 games, he needs to start. Another fantastic performance from him. So that's all I've already got for you today, Rangers fans. I'm interested to know your thoughts on Leon Balogun. What did you think of his performances first and foremost yesterday? Do you think he should start the next 6 games left of this season? And does he get a new contract in your opinion? Yes or no? That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember, we do have Rangers t-shirts available on our website. We're going to have some new stuff come the end of the season, so do get this stuff whilst you can, because it won't be for sale no more once it's gone. Thank you guys, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.